In this video, we're exploring the future of decentralized finance. It's evolving very rapidly now, spearheaded by the likes of Chainlink and adopted by the likes of Celsius. Both of these companies are playing a crucial role in the future of finance, from the tech stack down to how we go about actually delivering yield to consumers in a transparent and open way. So we're going to highlight some of the important changes that have been going on recently and some of the updates from Chainlink from SmartCon 2021. So if you're excited for today's content, make sure you slap a like on today's video and also subscribe to the channel and turn on those post notifications so you don't miss a beat. Plus a subtle reminder, you can earn $50 in Bitcoin by signing up to Celsius. Check out the pinned comment down below for details. So during SmartCon 2021, the Smart Contract Convention of the year run by Chainlink Labs, they announced some really important updates and upgrades to their stack. So this was one of the main reasons why I wanted to cover this in today's video, is because CCIP, or Cross-Chain Interoperability Protocol, will mean we have an interoperable future for decentralized finance, which has been for a long time safely and securely in the arms of Ethereum and Ethereum only. Think back to 2020, DeFi Summer 1.0, it was pretty much all ETH. But since then, there's been a lot of movements in the market, some successful changes, some unsuccessful changes. We had a lot of movement on Binance Smart Chain, a lot of rug pulls and exit scams, and we're now seeing flourishing communities on the likes of Solana and the Terra ecosystem, just to name a few. And whilst we have this evolution in DeFi on different chains, there comes a point in time where we need the different chains to interact with each other to maximize the yield and grow this pie bigger and bigger and bigger. It's not going to be a case of which chain is better, but more of how can we take most of the money that is in traditional finance and bring it over to decentralized finance. And this is going to be one of the key components behind this. And I think this will go down in the history books as a momentous smart contract upgrade from Chainlink. So with the growth of numerous independent blockchain ecosystems with varying optimizations and geographical niches, it's resulted in an increasingly multi-chain world. Being able to seamlessly tap into the advantages of each of these blockchains and the unique assets with a single application would drive a massive wave of new cross-chain smart contract developments. No different than the proliferation of DeFi, NFT, and on-chain gaming economies when decentralized Oracle services for real-world data and secure off-chain computation were introduced. So there's been some issues with cross-chain previously, fragmentation of token bridges and messaging protocols. Many of the bridges were heavily centralized, and so there were security issues around this. And so you had a lot of transparency issues, node operators who could potentially work nefariously and cause breaches and loss of funds, which occurred in the tens of millions of dollars. So this is why Chainlink Labs has been working on CCIP for a number of years now, and they give a special thanks here to Chief Scientist Ari Jules and VP of Engineering Ben Chan, two absolute gigabrains in the team who have been working extensively on these issues. So Chainlink has been building out the full tech stack for cross-chain. So with CCIP, this sits within a layered open source technology stack that will be leveraged to provide users with new cross-chain services such as the Chainlink Programmable Token Bridge and various other bridge implementations, and the ability to create cross-chain applications that span any blockchain network. So each layer of the tech stack provides a key role in ultimately supporting the expanding multi-chain ecosystem. So from the bottom here, we have the decentralized Oracle networks, or the DONs for short. This is providing all of the reliable data feeds that we require to run our DeFi protocols. And then on top of this, we have CCIP, allowing for messaging and token transfers. And on top of this, we're building out a programmable token bridge as well. This is going to allow for a flow of data, use cases, developers, and various resources across different blockchains that will mean a greater number of use cases overall, applications that can be built leveraging different tech from different blockchains. And so new dApps putting together these different money Legos will result in us moving towards DeFi 2.0, where the chain that you're on does no longer matter. So this token bridge that builds on top of CCIP, this will allow developers to create cross-chain applications that seamlessly and securely move existing tokens across any blockchain. So maybe you've got your funds on Solana, for example, and you want to utilize a liquidity pool over on Polygon. You're going to be able to do this by utilizing the token bridge. There'll be various different connections between these chains, and they're secured by unique committees of nodes in order to distribute security whilst maintaining universal interoperability using routing contracts. So when you think cross-chain, you think there could be huge security issues within this. Well, this is why they've been building this out for years upon years, fine-tuning this protocol to ensure that security risks are minimized and decentralization is at the forefront. So this doesn't only allow for you to send your tokens across to different networks, but also send messages with this that will deploy those tokens once they arrive. This means that a user would no longer need to know how another blockchain works. All they need to do is send instructions to the bridge on how they want it to interact with the other chain, and the bridge will automatically move the tokens across chain, deploy them in a smart contract on the destination chain with an atomic transaction. So this means the user stays on the chain that they prefer, but they can still benefit from the smart contract ecosystems on other blockchain networks. And this brings about a whole host of new use cases and hybrid smart contracts, such as cross-chain yield aggregators. And during SmartCon 2021, Celsius were announced as the first committed user to CCIP, which is going to mean a lot of benefits for the users of the Celsius platform. Potentially increased yields, more sustainable yields, plus the development of swapping protocols within this, so you can swap your token to another directly within the application. So Celsius Network has close to 1 million users right now, over $17 billion worth of total value locked. This integration with CCIP of Chainlink means that the users can now start to tap into various yield-bearing opportunities on different chains. And this is how we're going to see exponential growth of the likes of Celsius, because the yields are going to be so attractive that this is how we're going to onboard a ton of new users and bring people from traditional finance into DeFi in an easy way. So within this diagram, you can see that we have our pool of users, and these users provide their funds. Celsius can use their funds to go about generating yield in various different ways. And this will now mean with different blockchains and different DeFi applications. Just one example here would be Aave. There's opportunities on Aave over on the Polygon network now, as it's really kicked off over there. But of course, the original home on Ethereum is also very fruitful. So this would allow Celsius to deploy funds on Aave on ETH or Polygon, depending on where the best rates are, and factoring in things like risk. Then further to this, we're seeing the uprising of the likes of Solana DeFi, and so Celsius could start to leverage that. And if there's great yields to be made on Solana, we could tap into those and bring that yield back to the community. And we're also seeing the likes of Terra with the Anchor protocol giving out almost 20% API on stablecoins. And so in a cross-chain future, this becomes possible. You could have UST on Celsius, for example, and the community can benefit from the increased yields of that stablecoin all within the Celsius app. No need to go elsewhere to do this yourself. You're going to be able to do this from the Celsius application, which is fast becoming the bank of the future. So this will abstract away the technical process of moving tokens across chains in a manual fashion, providing users higher security guarantees of their funds and helping them capture the highest yield opportunities there are in DeFi. And so as a result, Celsius will future-proof itself in this continued multi-chain expansion of decentralized finance. And it can do this whilst maintaining its current set and forget user experience. Direct from Alex Mashinsky, CEO, we see the usage of CCIP through Chainlink services like messaging or programmable bridging as the perfect way to future-proof and scale the Celsius business model and create a more comprehensive multi-chain DeFi integration. So this enables the community to capture more value across multiple blockchains, whilst at the same time giving new and exciting DeFi protocols access to billions of dollars worth of liquidity. So this is not only the benefit of the Celsius users, but of course, different DeFi protocols need liquidity to thrive. And oftentimes the more liquidity they have, the more efficient they can be and the more yield they can generate. So this cross-chain interoperability will actually just grow and expand the DeFi DeFi communities across different chains in a big way. You're giving liquidity to all of these different chains that have previously struggled with that. And this is really important as Celsius is one of the biggest crypto yield generating platforms there is, and them putting their flag in the ground and saying, look, we're going to roll with this and we're going to make sure that there's liquidity on different chains as we tap into these, means that the rate of change and growth in DeFi is going to go through the roof. And this is how I believe we move from DeFi 1.0 to the interoperable DeFi 2.0, which is going to be even more prosperous. So Celsius offer up to 17% APY on certain coins, tokens, and depending on whether you want to earn those in the native token or Celsius token itself, almost 9% on stable coins, 6% on BTC, 5% on ETH, so on and so forth. Some great yields here and a true set and forget passive income builder that I've been using for a couple of years now, and I highly recommend using them. You can get a $50 Bitcoin bonus by just depositing $400 or more on here and leaving it for 30 days. They will then credit your account with $50 in Bitcoin. May as well give them a try. There's a link down below which will help the channel out. But by doing this, you will see the potential of passive income in cryptocurrency. And I think this is one of the easiest ways to get people from traditional finance, just utilizing their bank and moving them over into DeFi slowly but surely. When you tell your friends or family, look, you can take your, say, British pounds from your bank account, getting like 0.01% interest per year, just put them on Celsius. There's no capital gains on that process because you're swapping a stable asset for a stable asset, but instead you can get 8.88%. It becomes a no-brainer. And as DeFi 2.0 progresses, it's really good to see that Celsius is using Chainlink's suite of features to ensure full transparency about what they're doing. So this is one example here. In one of the most ambitious moves towards decentralization, Celsius is now leveraging the industry-leading Chainlink price feeds to increase reliability of the price feeds on their back-end systems. This makes it one of the first times a CEFI platform is issuing loans to users based on a fully decentralized and transparent pricing mechanism. So the Chainlink price feeds have been battle tested. There's been a few black swan events that they've passed with flying colors. And during these periods, while other oracles have actually liquidated people incorrectly, Chainlink has stood the test of time. So this is really important. If there is a flash crash in the market and you're utilizing a loan service and the oracle provider does not accurately track data, then you could have your funds liquidated and there's no rerun on that. You're not going to get your money back. It's tough luck. So the use of Chainlink, the most established and highly regarded oracle in the whole of the market, will further bolster the reputation of Celsius. So they're now using this for a load of their back-end infrastructure using the best and most reliable price feeds. And building on this transparent data on the blockchain, they're also moving towards verifying all of their yield directly for the consumer as well in something they call the Rewards Explorer, which is part of their Proof of Community initiative, which is there to maximize transparency of Celsius. So this again is all utilizing Chainlink based data, and this gives that provenance that funds are coming from where Celsius say they're coming. They're showing you exactly how the yield is broken down and distributed to members. So within the Rewards Explorer, this is an interactive dashboard where each user will have the ability to see their entire Celsius community rewards in numbers. All sensitive information is kept transparent, so you're not doxing people with this, but it allows users to navigate and explore in detail all the funds paid as rewards to every user in the community with just a few clicks of the dashboard. So this is really important because as we move towards decentralized finance and away from traditional finance where there's no transparency, you don't know what the banks are doing with your money, the leading bank of the future here, Celsius, is setting the tone and saying, look, we're putting the gauntlet down, we're going to be fully transparent, we're going to show you exactly how we generate our yield and distribute it to our consumers. And by the number one guys in the industry doing this, it means that any competition has to follow suit. And so we truly can move towards a better future where you can trust the numbers that are put in front of you rather than just having to believe them. So Celsius pulling out all the stops with the use of Chainlink to be transparent, open, and proving things are as they say they are, but still you get idiots on the likes of Twitter a few hours ago, Celsius works like a Ponzi. They sell no real world products, so they're interested in you getting more users on their platform. Eventually this runs out, and so the scheme comes to an end and it will collapse, says Ed, Bitcoin Satoshi Vision fan there. So you can't please everyone, but you can see the way that this industry is progressing. Now Celsius is ranked 56th currently and has a price of $6 per token. You can see it had a parabolic rise in 2020 and has been consolidating around this $6 region for some time. This one will go higher. It will be potentially a slightly slower burner than other tokens you may get on the market, but a low risk token to hold in my opinion. And you can also get a good APY on the Celsius app with it as well. And the tokenomics behind this mean that as the total community of Celsius users grows, the buybacks for the Celsius token increase more and more and more. So over time, the growth of Celsius means a growth in the token price as well. So Chainlink God on Twitter put together an epic thread showing all of the keynotes from the SmartCon 2021. This one, he shouts out Mashinsky from Celsius. I'll leave this down below because this thread's got all of the keynotes in one neat place. If you want to give them a listen in your own time, I would highly recommend listening to some of these. Alex's is very good. There's also a fireside between Alex Mashinsky and Sergey Nazarov, and Sergey Nazarov's keynote speech within this is an hour and 40 long, but it will send a shiver down your spine when you realize what Chainlink is doing and what smart contracts are going to do for the future of this planet. So then we have Chainlink ranked number 15. This has to be a top 5 cryptocurrency. I think it should be the number 3 cryptocurrency in my personal opinion, currently at a price of 26 bucks. This one, in my opinion, not financial advice, is a steal at these price levels. Market cap just $11 billion. It is, as we've shown today, going to power the next generation of DeFi and just make decentralized finance fully interoperable. It's going to be the reason why yields remain high for a long time. 5 integrations today for Chainlink as per usual. The Chainlink network effects continue to grow exponential and they have reached escape velocity. There's simply no brakes to this train. Chainlink powers the DeFi ecosystem. And if you look at this versus other Oracle integrations, Chainlink has 715 thus far, and the rest don't even have that combined. So it is far away from any competition within the Oracle space. So Chainlink has fundamentals on full blast here, 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100, but the current recognition very, very low. This is an opportunity in the market if ever I've seen one. So as we move towards a future of interoperability between DeFi applications, you can see that some of the front runners in the industry like Celsius are going to be very well positioned to onboard a load of new users who come seeking yields. Yield in traditional finance is disappearing quickly, but it's here in abundance in the DeFi land. So the upgrades that have just come through CCIP and the full stack of integrations that go on top of it are going to mean that we can onboard a load of new users over the next weeks, months, and years to come. So this is certainly one of the most exciting sectors in the whole of crypto. And I hope I've been able to highlight some of the important changes that are happening right in front of our eyes right now. These don't get a lot of attention in the mainstream YouTube community at the moment, but they really deserve to be covered more. So if you enjoyed the content in today's video, please subscribe to the channel. Check out the pinned comment down below for that $50 bonus over on Celsius, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.